Hence, you can see the stock up 6.5%.
Okay, looking pretty good over there. By the way, the mid-cap IT space has been picking up in the last few days. If you look at something like a Persistent Systems, it's up 1.5% today, and it's up almost 11% this month already. So there's some comeback. In fact, this afternoon, even KPIT Technologies is up almost about 3-4%. So this entire lot is looking pretty good. But what's not looking good is Delta Corp. It's losing in trade today, despite the company reporting its Q2 earnings, which were pretty decent. Is it a case of profit taking?
It could be a case of some profit taking, but importantly, it could also be the case of an overhang coming in on the tax front with regards to any sort of regulatory action coming by on, online skill gaming, etc. That's been a point of contention for these counters for a very long time. But be that as it may, the numbers were good, and there's no taking away from that. And I'm looking at these numbers quarter on quarter this time around, primarily because the base was so low that any comparison there would look, exaggerated. A 261% growth in the revenues year on year on a low base. But quarter on quarter, there has been an 8% jump in the revenue. The EBITDA has grown 14%, and at the same time, the net profits also have grown by about 19%. And this is heartening because the second quarter is usually leaner than the first quarter, in that the company has seen some sort of growth. The casino business has grown by about 9%, and the online business has grown by about 13%. The online business growing 13% is a bigger positive, primarily because of two reasons. One, the online incidence was much higher during COVID period, where people weren't going to real-time casinos, but that has sustained post-COVID as well. And secondly, this is also the business where the company is looking to unlock value. They said that surge in domestic travel has led to the growth, and they've launched a new vessel which will further aid growth. The second half of this year is essentially seasonally stronger for the company as well, so that could be a bit of a trigger. But then again, the tax impact overhang remains, and the stock also entered the F&O ban yesterday, so that could be a technical reason why it's underperforming today.
Okay, all right. So that's on Delta Corp. That stock just about lower by around 0.5%. Sonata Software is also in focus on account of a business transformation CRM project. So that stock is holding up with a gain of around 1.5% as well. But let's move on. NMDC has moved towards listing of its steel business. Sonal is here with the details on this story.
Thanks a lot for that. Well, yes, NMDC will be in focus because they have finally received approval from Ministry of Corporate Affairs for demerging NMDC's steel plant. And in next 2 months, we should be seeing this being listed separately from the original business as well. Now, the next question that really comes to our mind is how to value this NMDC steel business. So, company has a capital expenditure of approximately 19,000 crore rupees on the steel plant. So, if we go by the capital work in progress levels, because market is valuing it at those levels, if it is completed by 40%, it would be listed at 26 rupees per share. If at 50%, then 32 rupees per share. And if 75%, then 49 rupees per share. So at those levels of capital work in progress, the listing price would be decided, and that is the next big event that we'll be watching out for.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Sonal. Well, let's talk about some more stocks that are in the news this afternoon. Abhishek is here to give us a quick wrap on all of that. Abhishek, what's on your list today?
Well, Sonia, to begin with, L&T Finance is on radar given the fact that they have received approval from SEBI with respect to proposed merger of L&T Mutual Fund with HSBC Mutual Fund. We saw in bulk trade take place yesterday in IndusInd Bank. So over there, post-market, we had the update coming in with respect to Route 1 Offshore Master Fund, who sold about 37% of their stake in IndusInd Bank. So they did sell about 1.2 crore shares. Now they are left with a balance of a little more than 2 crore shares. So it takes their holding down to 2.86% versus 4.54% that they had earlier. Another block trade did show on Tilak Nagar Industries, wherein BofA Securities has bought about 46.9 lakh share, or about 2.84% stake in the company at a price close to rupees 100 per share. EARC Trust, they have sold about 50 lakh share, or a little more than 3% stake in the company. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thanks a lot for that. So those are a bunch of stocks in the news, but come back after this short break and we will focus on Suzlon in our special segment, Insight Edge. We spoke with the management this morning. Vivek will get us all the insight that he got from that conversation.